YouTube Nation, Maven TV, aka Me TV, aka I have not yet begun to fight, and it seems like the real fight is coming very soon. Now look, we all know what's going on. We all know about the tragedies that's happened in Newtown. It's a shame. It really is what happened. I understand that everyone's had their say in this already, and I really want to get to the bottom of this. It's not just video games. I'm going to explain this because this is about the media creating hysteria and trying to sell you products. That's what this is about at this point. It's a hustle, and we're going to talk about this today, on top of blaming video games and stuff. Now look, I said in my previous video, not too long ago, that I was going to bury Jack Thompson. It's time to put him away, all right? I said that. But as days have gone on, this is not just a Jack Thompson issue. It's not. This is a mass media issue. That's what this is, and we're all the target still. And today, I'm going to talk about it all. You know what I mean? And I'm just so upset. If I did this yesterday when I was really having a bad day, on top of getting all this news, I'd have came out here and raged. I just came out here and yelled, and it wouldn't, it probably would have been great entertainment, but it probably wouldn't have got the point across. So today, I really do want to talk about this. Now, I understand that I said I was going to bury Jack Thompson. I will start with Jack, all right, because it takes a very sick individual. I'm not going to call him a man. He's not a man, all right, but it takes a very sick individual to do what he's done, all right? So, as we know, soon as the tragedy happened, one Fox expert came out and said it was for video games, and it flew under the radar, right? No one paid attention because we all know this is what the media does. They scapegoat, so people really didn't pay no mind. And then Jack Thompson shows his face again. Now I want to talk about this because, Jack, where have you been? You have lost every case against gaming. You've lost every case before that. You lost every case against the entertainment industry because of the fact that you got out there on your soapbox and you tried to say that rap music was the cause for violence. Did you not? You tried to get out there and say that, the entertainment industry, and I'm going to talk about rap music a little bit more later. Entertainment industry in general with movies are the cause of violence, and you lost all those things. People did not listen to you. Now here's what I don't understand. How come, as an individual, it's hard for me to even call you human. I would say a person, but that's hard. It really is. I'll put it like this. How come when a tragedy happens, the first thing you do is say, oh, it's video games. Oh, we'll have to blame this and we'll blame that. Oh my God, this is my chance to get back into the spotlight. Let me put my suit on and let me get out there and say something. How is that your first reaction to a tragedy? That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you call yourself, a man of God. Like I said, you're not a man, all right? But I don't remember anywhere in the Bible saying thou shalt exploit victims for thy personal gain. I don't remember reading that anywhere. That is sickening. It is horrible. And it makes you, that's evil. That's what it is. I understand that I'm the big bad wolf around here. I get it. But that is pure evil. No way is that even remotely acceptable. And then, for those who don't know, he comes out and he starts going after gaming media and gaming outlets and media, and he says the blood is on your hands. No rhyme or reason, no logical explanation, nothing. That's what he says. And of course the gaming media is like, what is this dude talking about? Like, yeah, because you cannot blame him. They're laughing it off. I don't find this a laughing matter. I don't. This is something serious. So many people were killed by some coward, and I'm going to talk about him later. Yeah. All right, by some coward. Those kids did nothing to anyone. And yet you had to be, if that's what you think it takes to be a man, to go in there and go after a bunch of teenagers, a bunch of kindergartners, that's what, 6, 7 years old, we were told? And you shoot them down? That's sickening. It's disturbing. But that's just one part of the story. Now, isn't it? So, since with Jack, saying these things, I'm trying to find out from the gaming media, because I'm very upset with the gaming media. And I'll explain to you why. Because I want to know, why is that gaming media and leader heads of the gaming industry, that's right, everyone who's trying to pull this leadership role, I'm talking developers, I'm talking, publishers, I'm talking all you guys. All you guys are all into this together. Yes, you have a responsibility. I'm going to explain. Okay? Now, why is it that you can try and push a game? You can spend countless dollars advertising games. You can write articles about us being haters and, oh, you're trying to be righteous gamers. And you can spend all this time trying to manipulate crowds and split us up to sell products. But when something like this happens, when the mass media, when the big guns come out, like Fox and all them, when they come out and label everybody, and I'm talking about even us gamers, all right? When they label everybody killers, and I'm going to talk about this, because you have to understand, when somebody says games teach children how to kill, that's just talking about children. If they're saying that, and they're saying they're teaching children how to kill, and you're an adult or a teenager that's, of age to be an adult, when you hit that 18 phase, some 16, depending, or you're older, and you're still playing games, they're saying you're a full-blown killer now. That's what they're saying. That is slander. And they're trying to say, well, it's their opinion. No. There's a difference between having an opinion and slander. There's a difference. But because it's a big-time, station, that's it. You have to understand that people are just going to let that slide. No. They're pushing us around, and the media and the publishers and all these developers who think that, want to act like rock stars and leaders, they're not standing up for you. They're not. Understand, and I know a lot of people say, well, Vent, you always say that this game is bad or this game is good, and we always fight back and forth. Yes, but that's one game. They're trying to take the entire industry away from you so that you have no games to play. Do you understand that? It's amazing how you can come out here and pretty much drop this bomb on us, and I mean gaming media and fans who are for, I don't want to say fanboys, but you get what I'm saying, all right? And drop this bomb on us all the time. There's people who still to this day still talk about me, like this most childish stuff, the trolls, everything. Where are you when it comes to these issues? Shouldn't you be trolling Fox News? Shouldn't you be trolling Jack Thompson? Shouldn't you be doing? Why aren't you putting your talents? And that's what I'm going to call it right now. All right. Why aren't you putting your talents to good use? That's what I don't understand. Same thing with the gaming media. This is your time to show that you can be a real gaming journalist. So why haven't you dug through the dirt? Why haven't you gone after Jack Thompson or any other media outlets? Oh, I forgot. Some of you media outlets like IGN, you're owned by, News Corp, which is with Fox News. All right. We all know Oliver North just not too long ago plugged Black Ops 2, who, he's was it a pundit? Or was it over there at Fox News? They're all in together, people. Understand this. So when something like this happens, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. Parents, they don't care about your kids. They don't care about the American way. They don't care about all this. If they did, they sure as hell would not be in their own movies and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. Because all these people have made appearances in movies, some way, shape, or form. The very same entertainment or games, very same entertainment that they blame for all these killings. That's right. And it's sad. Because now that we're seeing it take effect, the gaming media, the leaders, nobody is stepping up. Nobody is pushing back. Nobody is willing to fight. You can't just keep laying down. But I guarantee you, if I made another Devil May Cry video, y'all be first to fight. What makes no sense? When bigger issues are at hand, we have to stand together and fight. That's what it comes down to, or you won't have an industry. Like I said before, we are being watched under this big magnifying glass, all right? We just are. We're under a microscope. And you have to understand, when something bad happens, they'll be the first to report it. But I guarantee you, if one of you guys right now, gamers or whatever, if you go and make some type of charity in the name of Newtown to say, hey, look, all the proceeds will go to them, I guarantee you that will fly under the radar. Guaranteed. But that's not all. Let's start right now, because as we know, this hysteria has taken, place when it comes to blaming video games, that now Mass Effect is taking a hit. Now, for those who cannot see those comments, because probably they're too small on the screen, I will put a screenshot of it in the info bar so that you can see all the comments, okay? Now, I want to talk about how this hustle works, and I want to talk about the insensitivity of the media, because for those who don't know, when this tragedy happened, the media outside, soon as it happened, when they got to the scene, they're interviewing children. That's right, they're interviewing children, 6 and 7-year-olds. How did you feel about the shooting and everything when you were running out of there, pretty much trying to save your life? How did you feel at that time? You've got to be kidding me, right? So the children aren't scarred enough. Now you want to try and interview them so that you can get better ratings. There has to be some type of guidelines when it comes to the media. I know a lot of people are going to say, what do you want to do, regulate it? Yes, I do. All right? There is no reason why you should be showing those horrible pictures on TV. Those people crying and in anguish. There's no reason for that. You know what I mean? People don't want to see. I can't tell you how many people that I saw on Twitter that were so upset. And we're talking the manliest of men. And were so upset by this. They were moved by it. Because it's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. There's no reason you should be, interviewing children so that you can possibly get better ratings or make a name for yourself. You get what I'm saying? And I put it like this, because parents, you're to blame as well. Now, I understand that, it's hysteria. You don't know what's going on. Why are you letting the media interview your children? Why? At a time like this, why? People are still trying to find out who's dead, what the body count is, and you're on TV flashing children on TV. You've got to be kidding me. There is a problem. All right, a big problem, and I want to talk about this a little bit more because, for those who don't know, the hysteria has hit an all-time high now, and this is where the hustle comes in. Because parents, there has been, for those who don't know, it's been reported, there's been a spike in parents buying bulletproof backpacks. That's right. So it goes to show you, somebody will always swoop in and try to take advantage of this opportunity. Bulletproof backpacks, parents, I'm telling you now, if someone walks into a school and puts your kid down execution style, that backpack is not helping them. I understand you want to protect your children, but understand that that's the wrong way to go about it. It just is. I guess next we'll put them in hazmat suits. You have to understand that this is bigger. It's a lot larger than just video games and some douche trying to shoot people. All right, I'm going to talk about him later, but that's not all. For those who also don't know, it's been reported that an 11-year-old kid not too long ago, was it just yesterday, went to school. He brought a handgun to school, and he got caught. And when they asked him why he did it, it was because he was afraid he was going to get shot like in Newtown. It goes to show you the hysteria that the media has caused. There's a difference between giving you the facts and giving you everything that's straight out and guiding that and molding it and shaping it into something that's not real. You understand that? I want to talk about this a little more, because this is what I don't understand. When this happened, the media put out the killer's Twitter handle, or so they thought it was the killer's Twitter handle. That's right. Here it was. It wasn't. All right. So the kid whose Twitter handle they put out there on TV for the world to see, all right, was getting bombarded with tweets, nasty, hateful tweets. Okay. Now here's the thing. This kid had 20 followers before that happened. Within that 35 to 45 minute span, when they put that on TV, this kid went from 20 followers to 4,000 followers. That's right. You know what this means? It means not only are people just messaging him and saying bad things, because you have to understand, the guy is tweeting and he's saying, this is not who you think it is. I'm not the killer. You have to understand, if the killer killed himself, there's no possible way I could be tweeting right now. Common sense. But apparently it's not so common. Okay? Now, here's the thing. If you're following a killer, and let's just say he is the killer, all right, and he wasn't tweeting, you're following him. That means you are glorifying a murderer. And I want to talk about this, all right? And that's sickening. That's very disturbing, because you also have this type of mentality where the media does this a lot, all right, where you know who the killer is. But I'll put it like this. If you get into a conversation right now outside about this situation, and of course, everybody knows the name of the killer, but name me one child victim. Can't. Nobody knows. No. Nobody. All right? All they talk about is the killer, the killer, the killer. We have seen this for years when it comes to mass murders and, how can I put this, people who get cults together and stuff, Charles Manson, stuff like that. You know who the killers are, but no one talks about the victims. The media makes sure you know. We all see these book deals come down the line. We see Lifetime movies made, or whatever type of movie made. We see this all the time. Yet we don't know the victims. It seems like people don't care about the victims. Everyone wants to get into the mind of the killer. Well, you know what? You shouldn't. Who cares? See, this thing, when something bad like this happens, he should not be known. He should go away. He should be erased from being born, as far as I'm concerned. All right? From the history books. There's no reason you need to know the name, but you need to know the names of those victims. And the media does this time and time again. Time and time again. People make careers off of this stuff. That's the sad part. There's a lot more going on. I want to talk about the killer real quick, because for those who don't know, The killer, now as we know, Adam Lanza, or Lanza, however you want to say it, his brother Ryan comes out and reveals to police that his brother had a personality disorder and was autistic, meaning it's a mental health issue. It's not a video game issue, okay? Now I'm going to put this back because I'm going to use this again, all right? Very quickly, but whatever. So it goes to show you right now that the mental health in this country has flown under the radar. And I say this because look at the way the media operates. It takes a sick individual to operate the way that, to operate that way. The media, you've got people on Twitter, all right, who follow killers, and we also see fanatics of mass killers too, and murderers and stuff like that. We know this happens, all right? And then you have the killer himself. No way is this a video game issue at all. But that's not all, because there are some people trying to help. And I'm going to talk about this right now because as sickening as it is, Westboro Baptist Church, all right, as we know, like I said, I was going to pick this up. As we know, they're scum as it is, okay? And this is what I mean about trying to take something, a tragedy, and turn it into your own agenda. For those who do not know, they are going to picket the funerals, the vigils of these children. That's right. They're going there. And this is what they said. They're going to picket Sandy Hook Elementary School to sing praise to God for the glory of his work in executing his judgment. Seriously. And this is what another person says. God sent the shooter to CT. Heed the word, CT. Dying time is truth time. Why are these people allowed to speak? Why are these people allowed to even be in society? When you have people like this, you know what needs to be done? You need to take these people, and all people like them, and all people who want to make this world horrible, and put them on a remote island, and let them have at each other. That's what you need to do. Survival of the fittest. That's what you need to do with them people. There is no reason. I'm not saying kill them. I'm saying excommunicate them. That's what you should do. It's the only logical explanation I can come up with. You can't talk to these people. They cannot be reasoned with. All right? We've seen this time and time again. It is for, like I said, stature, gain, spotlight. I will put it like this. If you want the spotlight that bad, I invite all the media. I invite Jack Thompson. I invite Westboro Baptist Church. Anytime, any place, face-to-face, via YouTube, via wherever, Skype, whatever, and we can have this debate. Nobody is afraid of you, at least not on my end. But it seems like the media, when it comes to the gaming media, once again, is. However, there are some individuals who are not afraid because Anonymous has come out and went after the Westboro Baptist Church, started hacking down their Twitter and places like that, revealing private information about them, personal information about them to the world. So I want to thank Anonymous for that. I really do. Because it goes to show you, for everyone who said, oh, they were hacking the PlayStation Network and they were doing this, oh, they're bad people because we can't play our games online. Do you understand what's going on here? This is bigger than your system. If you keep letting these people act this way, you won't have a system. Understand that? You have to make the necessary, I don't want to say sacrifices, I'll say adjustments. That's what I'll say. But speaking of adjustments, I want to talk a little bit more about the media, because one of you guys sent me a link to what Fox News was saying and Bill O'Reilly, and I think we need to get into that right now.
All Americans should understand that violence like that harms America's image throughout the world. And we do have a gun culture here. No question about it. If the feds can tighten up gun laws without violating constitutional rights, they should do so. Is it legal is investigating one glaring question in Connecticut. How could the mother of the killer have acquired an AR-15 when Connecticut has tough gun laws?
That's a very good question, but here's the problem. The gun laws are a small part of the problem, as opposed to mental health being a bigger problem. You have to understand that these people need help. We have seen this time and time again, especially with the Batman shootings, because when that happened, we had to hear video games was to blame. And then we had to hear the media come out and say, oh, but we have to understand why the guy did it. No, we don't. All right? You don't care any other time, any other day when a killing is reported. You don't say the same thing, we need to find out why. You don't say that. You don't try to get to the bottom of it. You report it. The guy goes, either he's dead or he's thrown in jail, and then you move on to the next story. You don't care. So all of a sudden we should care about this guy? No. No way. Don't even try to play that, because if that's the case, I'm sure there's a lot of criminals there in jail right now that have their own stories on how possibly society is what made them do it. Okay? I'm not trying to hear it. Don't try to play these type of cards and these type of angles when it's good for you, when there needs to be an exception all of a sudden. That's horrible, okay? But I will put it like this. Even though Bill O'Reilly does bring up a good point, as soon as he brings up that point, he pretty much does a 180 and starts blaming video games. It's not just him, because he does try in the full video to be neutral, but then it starts to overcome.
I think that's right. There are people who want to use this for partisan advantage or to scapegoat the NRA or to win over one side in this argument.
So this guy is going to back the NRA and say that there's people out there who are going to scapegoat the NRA. Okay, just remember that phrase, scapegoating. Let's keep going.
In the movies, in the video games, where without a doubt children are desensitized to violence, it's either glorified or trivialized to a point that is truly shocking. And if you have a kid looking at a screen who's already sort of living in an internal world where you mow down people for entertainment on the screen, no pain, no consequences, it's not surprising they would imitate that in real life.
Yeah, the thrill of the kill is on display now in these video games. And
So let me get this straight. It's not a crippling society. It's not a flawed system. It's not a two-party system where they're so selfishly that they cannot come together and try to do what's right for the American people. It's not was it mental health? It's not guns, but it's video games. That quick, you're going to spot video games out of all these problems. And the thing is, you guys are the most influential. You guys are the ones who are in power. Yet you don't turn around and say to yourselves, we need to do a better job for the people. Yet you want to be respected, you want your legacy to go on, and you want to be admired.
I gave you the stats about Australia and how they have a gun death rate that is 30 times lower per capita than the United States. In Japan in 2006, we had 2 people killed from guns. At the same time in the US, we had over 10,000 killed by guns. But Tom Ridge has an interesting theory he'd like to share with us about how it's not guns, it's something else.
We haven't even started talking about the corrosive influence of a violent-oriented world, TV, video games, shoot-to-kill video games.
Right.
When you're in the military, you learn that your target may shoot back. But you get in this digital world, this fantasy world that I think you take a look at the folks at Columbine, Aurora, etc. Suddenly, it's a different personality type.
Oh, right. It's all those video games. It's a good thing in Japan they don't play any video games. Oh, right, they play massive amounts of video games. In fact, a lot of the same video games we play. In 2006, 2 people died of gun violence in Japan. 10,000 in the US. I wonder if it's the video games. Hey, do they show movies in Australia? Pretty sure they do, right? How about in the UK? How about in the dozens of other countries that don't have anywhere near the gun violence that we have? Could it be that we all have guns in this country and they do not? No, probably not. It's probably the video games and the movies. Well, Democratic Governor Hickenlooper of Colorado agrees this is a serious concern.
Certainly the culture of violence, and look at the level of violence in our media, video games, the depiction of these assault weapons again and again. There might well be some direct connection between people who have a mental instability and they when they go over the edge, they transpose themselves. They become part of one of those video games. And perhaps that's why all these assault weapons are used.
Yeah, it's true. Once I was playing Pac-Man and I started gobbling up dots.
Oh, so now it's video games and mental instability. Is that what you're saying? So it has to come in a package. That's what you're saying. So all right, I want to get this straight, because when he's talking about video games, he just slips it in there. Mental instability. You know what I mean? Like it's a throwaway thing. What's more important? Video games or mental instability? I think it's the latter. So I don't understand still why video games are being blamed at this point. It makes no sense. And I said I'd get back onto the rap thing because of the entertainment. It's interesting because for those who don't know, rapper Immortal Technique came out and he actually dropped some bombs on some of these people, you know, and he actually calls them cowards. What I don't understand is how video games can still be blamed after all this time. Or should I say, before? Because as we know, there were wars and mass murders way before video games were even thought of being made. What was the excuse then? We've seen dictators come around and everything, and we've seen this. We've seen it in history. And what would they say? They're just crazy. Mental instability, right? All right, so it goes to show you that it doesn't matter if video games are being played or not. It doesn't matter. If the person has a mental health problem, or is just, as you would just say, you know, crazy, then there's the problem. Doesn't matter. Seems like nobody wants to, you know, believe in that these days. Now, look, parents, I understand your concern. I understand there's a lot of you out there who say video games are bad, they teach children wrong. You obviously just got in the same rhetoric the media throws down to you. They're the devil. Look, if that's the case, then why are you buying these games for your kids? Why are you buying M-rated games for your kids? I've seen it. I've shown you guys video in previous videos I've done where the mother would take her kid into GameStop. The kid comes up to her like her waist. All right, and she's trying to, what game do you want? And they're all M-rated games. I put it like this. Parents, you have to do your research if you're going to buy these kids games. And I know I've had enough talks with parents that say, oh, my kid can handle it, he's mature enough, and then you find out they're not mature enough. If you watch what they're doing, if you watch what they're playing and how they're acting, especially online, this wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't. But you're actually, I'm not going to say you're creating a problem, you're advocating the problem. That's what it comes down. It does not take that long to do research. It doesn't. And when I mean research, I mean actually go online, look at stuff. Look at some YouTube videos. Look at some reviews if you have to. I understand the reviews are going to say differently. Look at what people are saying, all right? Your research shouldn't end at, well, I went to GameStop and I asked the clerk what he thought about it. That's not research. Have to understand that you are causing, I keep saying causing or creating, you're actually guiding this problem. You're advocating this problem. Parents, people in power, you are just as much as to blame as anyone else, because these kids would not be, if you think that they're really killing these kids or turning them into killers, how are these games selling? We've seen a number of charts, we've seen a number of, dare I say, statistical data, all right, of the age, you know, of the ages who buy these games. So I'm not trying to hear anymore that it comes down to an industry or, you know, like I said, they have a personal responsibility to step up and say something when it comes to, for us gamers, since we support them, they can do the same back. They have, I believe this, a responsibility. Like I said, you want to be treated like a business and you want to be treated maturely, you're going to have to start stepping up. Industry, it's just something that has to happen. However, I understand that not everyone is on that mature phase yet. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to talk about gamers who are making fun of this issue. That's right. Now, for those who did not see the video yet, apparently a guy on Call of Duty got caught making fun of the Newtown massacre.
Oh.
Yo, Jilster, what the fuck's up with your emblem?
What?
What is so funny about Newtown? Tell me.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
I'm looking at your emblem right now. It says Newtown LOL. And then it has bullets, and then you made a little stick figure kid. How is that funny?
How is that a kid? What if it's an adult or a teenager?
There's no fucking difference.
Yeah, there is.
Kids, adults, they were both in Newtown. So explain to me why you made your emblem that. Go.
Newtown, because that is a new map that they added to Call of Duty, you know? No?
You're fucking stupid.
It's gamers like that who give the entire community and the industry a bad name. That's right. So when people who hate video games see that, they're like, that's exactly what we're talking about. There is an upside to this, though, because the person who took the video and caught the guy doing that, actually, you know, it was a call to arms in the YouTube gaming community for people to come together and report that guy. So it goes to show you that that type of that attitude that, oh, I can do whatever I want or make fun of a bad tragedy, it's unacceptable in the community. And it's not just YouTube community, but the gaming community in general. And this is a big problem because for some reason, everyone feels that these days it's okay to be a jerk. You know what I mean? And we all know, even if you're on the internet, that does not give you a free pass to act like an idiot. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden allowed to just lose all common sense or any type of civility, you know, towards fellow people. You know, that's not an excuse. It's not a free pass, and it's not justifiable. It just goes to show you that people, at the end of the day, the media, they're going to keep looking. This is a good example of what I'm talking about. They're going to keep looking for a reason to shut it down. And I guarantee you, I'm not saying they're going to shut it down, but let's just say, what if? If they do shut down the gaming industry, they're going to go on and blame something else next. There's never any personal responsibility. They never look at themselves. Yet, We always take the brunt of everything. I think the gaming industry really needs to set up some stuff at this point. And when I mean that, some charities, make them public. You can spend millions of dollars on advertising Call of Duty or Battlefield 3. I'm sure you can spend millions of dollars to put together a system, a charity, system for everybody to get together and play and donate and things like that. Make it more popular, make it more mainstream, dare I say, make it more vocal, give it the exposure it deserves so that this doesn't keep happening. That's all. But it is very sad to see that this is happening. We're coming up on holidays. I think this will be my last video, unless I do one tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm really busy. This is holidays, and I just want to say, when you see stuff like this, this should make you thankful that you have family, you have friends, you have loved ones. Be happy that you have somebody. Be happy that you have a roof over your head. Be happy that you can get online and play video games. Be happy that you can get on camera and speak. But it seems like people take these type of things for granted. I've told you before, the internet is what you make it. The internet is what this is a platform. This is what it's supposed to be used for information and actual opinions. Not going around and cursing people out and acting a fool. All right? Like I said, this is what it was always used for. Not just, oh, let's just look at some guy getting kicked in the crotch. That's not what it's used for. It may be for a brand of entertainment to you, but this could actually be, worth something more influential, getting your voice out there. That's how I always looked at it. Understand that this is something that you need to do. People, gamers, it's time to come together, and it's time to stop fighting over petty squabbles or whatever, and it's time to start taking this seriously. Like I said, holidays are here. Please be safe. Don't argue. I swear, don't argue on the holidays. It just goes to tell me that you really don't have a life if you do that. There's no point. There's no reason. Seriously, go out and get some fresh air, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a happy holidays. I understand that things are going to escalate more, once we see what's going on, and it's sad to see. Anyways, y'all be safe. I'm out.